Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Saturn is going to transit Pisces on 20th March 2025. It is going to stay there for 2.5 years. In this video, we are going to analyze the results for all the ascendants. So, for all the ascendants, in fact, for any ascendant, whenever Saturn is there in a particular house, it will affect that particular house as well as third, 6th, 8th, and 12th houses from itself. In this way, out of 12 houses, 5 houses will be affected by Saturn. So, no matter where Saturn is in your chart, you will always find out of 12 areas in your life, 5 areas will be affected by Saturn. And Saturn basically causes misery, it causes confusion, it causes delay in getting things done. It On the positive side, Saturn inculcates patience, hard work, and discipline in the person. So, positive sides of those things will basically enhance those 5 houses, and the negative sides, you can say, if those discipline, patience, all these things are not considered, all these things are not inculcated in that particular area, then you can see some detrimental effects in those areas. So it is not just that for like for one particular ascendant this is going to be good, for others it is going to be bad. It is not like that. For every ascendant, some or the other area is going to be affected. Okay. Now Saturn, just by Saturn, the effect of Saturn you can analyze based on following things. Like for example, for a particular ascendant, in which house Saturn is. Okay, that will be one area, and what houses it lords. That will be like 2 houses, because we know that Saturn lords over Capricorn and Aquarius, and those 2 rashis, they belong to some house in your chart. So being the lord of those 2 houses, and also being in the position of where the Pisces lies in your chart, those 3 things we have to keep in mind while pronouncing the result. And also which houses are going to be there from 3rd, 6th, 8th, and 12th from Saturn. Special, like the idea why 3rd, 6th, 8th, and 12, and exact timing of which houses will give the bad result at what. It may not so happen that all the bad houses will give bad result for entire 2.5 years. No, it won't happen. Saturn is going to move through various navanshas, and based on the its position in a particular navansha, you can say particular house is going to be affected. So I have done a detailed video on that if you are interested. So basically it highlights the technique which you can use to find out exactly which house is going to be affected. So in this one, I'm just going to pronounce all the 3, 6, 8, 12 from Saturn houses which is going to be affected for individual ascendants. Okay, so first let's begin with the Aries ascendant. Aries is the Kal Purush Kundali, the first house. So for Aries people, Saturn lords over 10th house and the 11th house, and it is there in Pisces, which is the 12th house. Okay, so all the affected areas is going to be around these 3. Okay, and another thing is that just by being the 10th lord, since there is a result for it being 10th lord and being placed in 12th house, so what those results could be, that we are going to see. Okay, so for 10th law, 10th house stands for your honor, your respect. Okay, so there could be a way of that you're morally fallen during this time, because 10th lord is there in the 12th house of fall. Shamelessness. 10th house is respect and 12th house is loss, so there is loss of respect. Heavy expenditure, obviously for 12th house it is for the heavy expenditure, so Saturn may cause certain heavy expenditures. And you can also say those expenses could be to improve your honor. Okay, that's also a possibility. 11th lord in the 12th house, The 11th lord in the 12th house, basically it delays any investment. So because 11th and 12th house connection makes a person doing spending for some future income, which is investment. But since Saturn is over there, so Saturnine quality is going to be there. So basically you will suddenly become very disciplined in that while investing. Okay, you will become there could be delays in spending for those investments. Okay, like if you are trying to purchase a house, you will like there could be one or the other reason it could be delayed. Okay, or you could be doing list of checklists, several things, like you'll become very methodical in doing that, very disciplined in that area. And there could be loss of friends, because 11th house is for friends, and being in the 12th house, it could mean the you could lose your friends. And fulfillment through introspection. So 11th lord is for fulfillment of desires, fulfillment that you see in life. And being in the 12th house is for meditation, for introspection. So you will seek some level of introspection, some level of meditation, to that will bring some fulfillment in your life. And then we'll have to see what all houses in general is going to be affected, like apart from these results. You see, third house from Pisces is going to be second house. So Taurus, Leo, Libra and Aquarius, these four houses will be affected. Taurus is the second house of wealth, so there could be some problem related to family, related to wealth, related to your speech. Fifth house is for children. It's for your intelligence, intellect, for your planning ability, for your stomach. So all those things can be affected. Seventh house is for wife, so there could be some problem with the wife also. And 11th house is for the gains. Okay, so your gains will be delayed, or gains, you lose the source of income. So but exactly which house is going to be activated, it will depend on the Namansha position. Okay, throughout the 2.5 years, the focus will be shifting from one or the other house. Okay, for that you will have to see the other video. And let's move on to the Taurus ascendant. So for Taurus people, uh, it is the yoga karak planet. It's a lord of ninth house and 10th house, and it is there in the 11th house of fulfillment of desires. So you can expect, like, it's very good position for these people. Okay, but only bad thing is that it could be bad from the mental anxiety perspective, because Saturn being over there is actually aspecting by the third aspect to the to Taurus ascendant. So there could be some issues with the mental anxiety, some stress could be there. Okay, now let's look at the position, because it's a lord of ninth house and they're in the 11th house. So basically he'll be like steady and prosperous. So ninth lord is for fortune and 11th house is for income. So he'll be very prosperous. But since Saturn is over there, Saturn will not give you anything abruptly. So it will be steady increase. Okay. Income from arts. There will be income from arts. There will be good position in life. So basically all the good positions, because 11th house is there with Pisces, and um, Pisces is associated with sea voyage or water related things, water related like fishes or conch shells, or anything related to water is going to bring prosperity to the person. So basically it's a good yoga for these people. 11th lord in 11th house, 10th lord in 11th house. So being the lord of Aquarius, it is there in the 11th house. It shows that there will be income from arts and crafts. There will be gain of position, because 10th lord is for respect in the society, honor in the society. It's also your work. Okay, your work, your respect is going to increase. It'll bring in more income. Okay, freedom from sickness. Now, despite all these good results, so as I said, even these four areas is going to be affected for him. So ascendant is for the Lagna. Lagna is for uh, Lagna is for your body and also for your intelligence. Okay, for your internal belief system, your mental state. So that is going to be affected. because of this transit. Fourth house is for your comfort. Okay, there could be some loss of comfort. So you see, ninth lord, 10th lord, 11th lord. So you see, the earth trikona and the calm trikona is getting activated for Taurus people. So it may so happen that he is losing the comfort and doing all these things. Quite possible. Sixth house of enemies, sixth house of hard work, sixth house of slogging. So basically, he'll become very hardworking during this time. So sixth house is also getting affected. Sixth house of disease. So bodily disease is also possible. And then the 10th house. Okay, 10th house for there could be delay in getting things done. So 10th house is also getting affected. 10th house is also for your father. So there could be problem with father also. Gemini ascendant. Okay, for Gemini ascendant people, Saturn lords over the 8th house and the 9th house. It is there in the 10th house. Okay, so all the results related to 8th and 9th house is going to be there. So 8th lord in the 10th house, it shows that 8th house is for your nij dosha, for your inner voices, um, uh, for the things that like, which are vices for you. Okay, all the bad things that you do. Okay, and 10th house is for actions. So basically you get involved in all these vices. 8th house is also for change, and 10th house is for work. So there could be change in the work. Okay, change in the job is possible. A danger to mother from water is possibility. Ninth lord in the 10th house. So being the lord of Aquarius there in the 10th house. So ninth and 10th lord connection is very good. It's very fortunate for the person. It will make him very courageous. It will bring honor to him, and especially honor will come from the ninth house activities like going to pilgrimage or doing some religious activity, religious ceremonies, and eminence is going to be there. Like he'll become very famous because of all these reasons. And what areas will be of prime problem in 2.5 years is the third house for siblings, fifth house for kids, 12th house for expenditure, and ninth house for father. So these areas could become a problem, not at the same time, but one by one. Then the Cancer ascendant. So for Cancer ascendant people, Saturn is the lord of 7th and 8th house, and they're in the ninth house. So 7, 8, 9, these results will be very prominent for the person. Seventh lord in the ninth house will basically lot of long distance travel for pilgrimage. Okay, going to religious places, uh, and long travel means like seventh house activity. That is possibility. Wife becomes very disciplined. So seventh house is for wife, and it's there in the ninth house. So basically, and um, it is there in the ninth house. So, and Saturn's effect will basically make him very disciplined, make her very disciplined. Wife becomes stout because not only like seventh lord, it's also eighth lord. Okay, and eighth lord, eighth house is the food, the health of the wife, and Saturn being over there, being lording over there means the expansiveness will come. Saturn rules over the air element, so it will increase the air inside her. So it's not just for wife; it could be for the husband also. He becomes very stout. Um, Happy marital life. So seventh and ninth lord connection. Ninth is for the fortune, and seventh is for the married life. So connection of seventh and ninth brings the happy married life to the person. Then eighth lord in ninth house, it means problem to the father, some lack of fortune, because eighth house is for lack of fortune. So there is a possibility of that. Then what all houses are affected? So second house, fourth house. So second house for wealth and family is affected. Fourth house for mother is affected. Seventh house of business partners going to be affected, and 10th house of work, and 11th house of gains. Okay, there could be some trouble in the gains, trouble in like delay in getting your income, delay in getting the business outcomes, lack of fulfillment. Then the Leo ascendant. Okay, for Leo ascendant people, it is the lord of sixth and seventh house. and it is placed in the 8th house. Okay, so first let's see what's the effect of 7th house, 7th lord in the 8th house. So there is a mental anxiety because of this. Eh, it is avoided, the person will be avoided by the friends. Okay, it's also not a very good condition for health because 7th 8th house connection brings the health problems to the person, and 8th house specifically is for the elimination of like bodily things. Okay, so the anal region and genital regions, those are indicated by 7th and 8th house. So Saturn being over there could result into piles, financial issues are possible. Fifth lord in the 8th house, especially for it basically shows that there is lack of planning. Okay, fifth house and 8th house connection also brings in some kind of mental crookedness, or mental anxiety is possible, or there is unsatisfied hunger in this person during this period, and cruel mind. Okay, so because 8th house is for nija dosha, all the problems that you inherently have, and 5th house is for mind. So what it means is that mind will have whatever mental issues that comes from subconscious mind, it will become surfaced for these people. Then what all houses? So Lagna is affected. Third house of siblings is affected. Seventh house of wife, business, trade affected. 10th house of position in life, honor, respect, job. So all these areas going to be affected for DO people. Then Virgo ascendant. So for Virgo ascendant, Saturn is the lord of 5th house and 6th house. It is there in the 7th house. So relation of 5th and the 7th house, it basically brings the mental anxiety because Saturn's association with 5th house, it brings the mental anxiety, and it's being there in the 7th house. 5th house is for affairs also, and since Saturn is involved, so this person could be dating a person who is very old to her or him. So that is a possibility. Sixth lord in the 7th house, so basically connection of 6th house with 7th brings some problem to the wife, like there could be sickness to the wife, or there could be trouble with the business partner, or sickness to the business partner, or association to the lowly partner, because 6th house stands for all the people from lower strata, like servant class people. So there could be association with those people. And what all areas going to be affected? Second house of family, 12th house of expenditure, expenses, sixth house of disease, and the ninth house of fortune. So in general, there is lack of fortune because of this. Then Libra ascendant. So for Libra ascendant, it is fifth and fourth lord in the sixth house. Okay, sixth house result for Saturn is very good. So basically, Saturn is going to destroy the enemies because sixth house is for enemies. Voracious eater. So the act of eating will increase. Okay, he'll have unsatisfied hunger, strong libido. The fourth lord in sixth house, enmity with the mother. So since fourth and sixth connection is there, so there could be some problem with the mother. The person could become arrogant because suddenly you see the Saturn has destroyed the enemies, so he thinks that he has destroyed it. So that kind of arrogance can come in this person. Now, apart from all the good results, the areas which are going to be affected is his own health because ascendant is there, his own belief system. Fifth house is for kids, so his kids could be affected. Eighth house of in-laws, in-laws could be a problem. Longevity could be a problem. There could be issues with the long-term diseases. 11th house of sustained source of income or friends. So there could be problem in that area also. Scorpio ascendant. For Scorpio ascendant, it is third and fourth lord placed in the fifth house. So again, connection of fifth house brings in a lot of mental anxiety. Um, there could be problem to children because fifth house is for kids, and Saturn over there will basically um, bring Saturnine quality to the kids. So the kids will become very disciplined. They will become very you can say humble. Okay, humble. This is the good quality of Saturn that comes in the kids. Okay, and kids may become pushy also, and they will become very helpful, because see, all these qualities are related to Saturn being in the Pisces, and they're in the fifth house. Then fourth lord in fifth house will bring what's in your mind. Because fourth lord is for house, and fifth house is for what's in your mind. So your mind will be there, related to fourth house, like for your mother, for house, for conveyance, for vehicle, for sources of comfort. So all those, suddenly all those things will be on your mind, and there could be stress on your mind because of that, and confusion, because Saturn causes confusion, and being there in the fifth house of intellect, you will be confused about what to do and what not to do. And then, according to this, so there will be problem with the fourth house, with the wife, with job, and with lot of expenditures. Then Sagittarius ascendant. For Sagittarius people, it is the lord of second and third house, and being placed in the fourth house. So second lord in the fourth house, it will basically cause loss of happiness, because fourth house connection with Saturn itself will cause the misery, loss of comfort. So there could be like, you may lose your conveyance, you may lose your vehicle, you may lose your mother, you may lose your source of comfort, because Saturn over there is causing it. So pain in the heart. So fourth house is also for heart region. So there could be pain because of that. Physical pain, not just mental one. Okay. Loss of conveyance, overgrown hair and health. So suddenly you'll find comfort in Saturnine things. Okay, like growing your hair long, or your nails also long, because those are Saturnine things in life. Third lord in fourth house, it will bring like high education, because Saturn being the lord of third house brings a lot of courage, and that courage is there in the fourth house. So you'll you may like enroll into higher education, well placed in profession. Now let's look at all the problem areas. So third house of siblings, sixth house of enemies, loans, debt, disease, ninth house of father, and 11th house of friends and sources of income. All these areas is going to be affected one by one. Then the Capricorn ascendant. For Capricorn, it is the Lagna Lord and also second Lord, Lord of the wealth and family. It's there in the third house. Third house placement is very good for Saturn. It brings a lot of courage to the person. Person will become very courageous, very enterprising. Okay, he'll display a lot of skills, because Saturn is there in the Sahaj Bhav. So skillful things he'll do like easily. Lagna Lord in the third house, very fortunate. He'll become very philosophical. Third house for speaking, and seventh house, the Saturn brings philosophy in the speech. So that philosophy is going to be there. Saturnine philosophy is going to be there. Like this person will start speaking about the life and death, and suddenly you'll see like what has happened. Good conduct, helpful. So all these qualities are because Saturn is affecting the Lagna itself. Being helpful, being humble, Saturn being in the house of summer house, which is like neutral house. So it is not very bad, not very good. Qualities of Saturn will basically come into picture. So being humble, being helpful, would be the like person's nature will be the second lord in third house. So it'll make him very healthy, wealthy, because third house of initiative. So he'll make initiatives for the wealth, or his wealth will um, enable him to uh, carry on with the initiatives or enterprises that he think. Put wealth to good use, and patiently deal with the family. Okay, so while dealing with the family, while doing some actions related to family, he will be with family as well as wealth. He'll be very cautious, very disciplined. Now, what all areas is going to be affected? Second house of family, wealth, speech. Fifth house of children. Eighth house of in-laws, sudden misfortune. Then 10th house of job. Okay, so all these areas will be affected for him. Coming to Aquarius ascendant, so for Aquarius it is the Lagna Lord and the Vyayesh, the 12th Lord. It's there in the second house. So Lagna Lord being in the second house, it will basically make him somewhat fortunate, not very good position. Second house is not very good position for Saturn, but it will bring some level of financial prosperity. Okay, it will make the person very pushy. It will make him very clever, very helpful. Again, Saturnine qualities. Then 12th lord in the second house, there will be income, but it will be followed by expenses and losses. Okay, and the so being in the second house, the 12th lord of expenditure. So being in the second house, it will bring those qualities, like he'll perform vratas, fasting, religious fasting. He will even do Maun vrata, like vow of silence, because second house is for the food, and Saturn over there will basically bring down the amount of food that he consumes. So and there would be discipline related to that. Vrat upvas and simple dressing, basically like monk like dressing, there is a possibility for that. What all areas going to be affected? The comfort. Okay, he may lose the sources of his comfort. There could be problem with the mother, there could be problem with the wife, there could be problem with the father. The ninth house is affected. Okay, in general, the luck is not going to be very good. Then the Pisces ascendant. So for Pisces ascendant, it is the 12th lord and the 11th lord in Lagna. Okay, since Lagna is involved, so all the qualities of Saturn is going to be there in this person. Okay, Saturn in Lagna is actually a Maran Karak Sthan. So it's not a very good position for Saturn to be in. So he may cause ill health. Saturn is also airy planet, so it will try to expand wherever it is. So person may tend towards obesity, or there could be unnecessary growth in the body. It could be tumorous, and limbs. Saturn also lords over the defect in the limbs is possible. There will be in general lack of happiness, because Saturn in the Lagna will make the person very Saturnine. 11th Lord in Lagna, the person will be polite, he'll be very helpful, okay, he'll be very trustworthy, he'll be very pushy. What all houses? So 12th house of expenditure, expenses going to be affected. Third house of siblings will be affected. Sixth house of, there could be disease, there could be problem with the loan, there could be eighth house is for long-term disease. So there could be some long-term disease coming up during this time, or it may come to surface during this time. There could be problem of getting the insurance. Okay, if you are looking for the insurance, uh, all the nij doshas will become very prominent. There is those problems which have been hidden so far, that you may not have even known, they will come to surface. That's all, I think. So we have covered all the 12 ascendants in this video. So you must have seen that can Saturn's position anywhere in the chart affects 4 or 5 areas in the person's life. So that's why you'll see that in general you may not find any person who has all the 12 areas of the life, all the 12 houses of the life equally good. Okay, also whatever results have been pronounced, it will be affected by other planets. Okay, because if Jupiter is over there, like in this Pisces itself, you see, if Jupiter is going to be there in the third house in Taurus, the third house will not be affected. When Jupiter is going to be there in the fourth house, he will aspect the Libra, he'll aspect the 12th house and the eighth house. So they will not be affected during the time when Jupiter is there. So we'll have to see the other planets also to conclusively come to the result. Okay, but as soon as the Jupiter goes to some other house, then this area is going to be become exposed to Saturn, and then the miseries related to that area will come. Okay, so judiciously apply all these things to your chart, and do not panic for Saturn, because Saturn stands for discipline. Saturn stands for doing things exactly at the same time daily. Okay, it stands for patience, it stands for being helpful to the society, serve the society. Lose your ego, do not be very arrogant on the things, because Saturn is the one who is um, giving all the karmic results to you. If it is good, if it is bad, both is because of Saturn. You have the pot of your blessings, you have pot of your sins, and they get uncovered with time, and they are the ones which are delivering those results. So if you are enjoying a good time, it is because the pot of the blessings, the pot of gold is over there, and you are spending from there. If you are suffering because of something, then it is the pot of the iron coins, it is the pot of the miseries that you have, that has uncovered. Okay, so go and help out people. Okay, uh, when you help out others, you basically share the share of blessings with others. So that in turn will reduce your suffering, in turn will reduce your sins, your mark of the pot of iron that you have, iron coins you have, that will get reduced because of this. So hope you enjoy it, you like it, and do meditate on this fact and let me know in the comment. Om Namo Narayana.